Hey there, and welcome to another Explainer. If you're standing right at the starting line of your legal career, well, you are in exactly the right place today. We're diving deep into the definitive guide to securing your first law internship. Honestly, I'm so pumped to unpack this with you because look, we aren't just going to talk in circles. We're looking at a highly structured, super actionable strategy straight from our sources that can completely transform how you approach your internship hunt. So grab a coffee, get ready to take some notes because we are getting right down to business. Stressed about getting your very first law internship? I mean, be honest, the answer is probably a resounding yes, right? It can feel incredibly overwhelming to just look at this massive legal industry and try to figure out where you, a law student, are actually supposed to fit in. You know the feeling? Staring at blank application forms, scrolling through LinkedIn, seeing everyone else's highlight reels, and feeling like you're already miles behind. Trust me, it is completely normal to feel that weight. But I want you to remember this quote. Almost every law student faces this exact problem. Literally, you are not alone in this maze. That anxiety you're feeling, it's basically a shared rite of passage. But here's the really fantastic news. Landing that first role is absolutely possible. It's not about having some magical pedigree or connections. It's simply about deploying the right strategy. And that is exactly what we're going to build together right now. Okay, let's dive into this. Take a deep breath because we have a clear 6-step chronological roadmap to conquer today. 1. Target niche. 2. Standout applications. 3. The networking game. 4. Beyond big names. 5. Ace the interview. And 6. Succeed on the job. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1. Find your target niche. Look, before you even draft a single word of your resume, you've got to hit the pause button. A massive mistake so many students make is just shooting in the dark. You really need to define what kind of legal environment actually aligns with your personal goals, because that target shapes absolutely everything that comes next. You've got wildly different options out there. Are you aiming for the super fast-paced environment of a corporate law firm? Or, maybe the courtroom drama of a litigation chamber? Maybe you want to make a real social impact at an NGO or a legal aid organization. You could also look at an in-house company legal department, or even a government office. A really great approach here is to spend the next few days deeply researching these specific practice areas. Your goal? To create a highly prioritized, focused target list of just 10 to 15 places you would genuinely love to intern. And this brilliantly illustrates what you need to keep in mind when building that list. Don't run after names for CV building. Focus on mentorship and learning. When you're choosing those 10 to 15 targets, it is absolutely crucial to prioritize the quality of your education over the prestige of the logo on the door. Think about it. A famous firm where you literally just photocopy documents all day, that's worth way less to your early career than a smaller firm where a partner actually sits down and teaches you how to draft a petition.
Moving right along to Section 2, build standout applications.
Okay, so now we have our target list, but we need application materials that don't just sit in an inbox gathering digital dust. They need to demand to be read. Take the cover letter, for example. A bad cover letter is full of generic clichés like, your firm is inspiring. When a busy partner reads that, they instantly know you just copy-pasted the exact same thing to 50 other firms. It's the ultimate lack of research trap. A good cover letter, though, it features specific mentions of the lawyer's recent cases, their exact practice area, maybe their specific reputation. This proves you've done your homework and you want to work for them, not just anyone. And it turns out, your resume needs that exact same level of discipline. We're talking a clean, one-page document, no exceptions. You want to include concrete evidence of your skills. Things like moot court writing samples or research papers. And here's a huge takeaway from our sources. Show, don't just tell. Skip the long, meandering paragraphs and absolutely avoid using AI-generated filler text that sounds, well, robotic. Instead, hit them with 3 highly impactful bullet points that specifically highlight your legal coursework and relevant experience. You want to make it literally impossible for them to miss your value. Now, here is a golden rule number 2 to just burn into your memory right now. 8 to 12. This is the sweet spot for application timing. Top places, like Phoenix Legal for instance, explicitly request that you submit your applications 8 to 12 weeks before your intended start date. Do not, I repeat, do not wait until the month before summer break starts. In law, the early bird doesn't just get the worm, the early bird gets the only available desk. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds into mastering the networking game. Now, applying passively through portals is totally fine, but active strategic networking, that's usually the actual gateway to securing a spot. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it shows a logical progression. You don't just start by harassing senior partners.
Step 1. Start warm. Build a rapport with your own law school faculty and ask for referrals. Step 2. Move to LinkedIn. Don't just mindlessly click connect. Actually send short, highly personalized notes to associates and partners explaining your genuine interest. Step 3. Build public authority. Launch a blog or contribute to platforms like IndiaCorp Law so that when lawyers eventually look you up, they immediately see your expertise. And finally, step 4, once you have that foundation, you execute targeted cold outreach emails to lawyers whose specific work you admire. It's like a step-by-step ladder. But, what if the emails just aren't working? Well, I want to share a wild, surprising fact from our sources. For some truly ambitious students, sheer, relentless, physical persistence has actually done the trick. It's called the dog with a bone approach. This literally involves going to an office, waiting for hours in the lobby, and politely persisting until someone with hiring authority finally agrees to meet with you. Now, obviously, use this one carefully, but it just proves that sometimes showing up in person demonstrates a level of enthusiasm that an email simply can't convey.
Which brings us to Section 4. Look beyond big names.
If you've been banging your head against a wall trying to get into those massive corporate giants, it might be time to pivot. We really need to debunk some persistent industry myths here. Overloaded big firms often offer very limited access to actual legal work. You can end up being just a cog in a massive machine. Conversely, nimble spin-off firms, the ones founded by partners who recently left the big giants, or top-tier niche intellectual property practices, they're actively seeking enthusiastic help. Plus, they often hire on a first-come, first-served basis. And because their teams are way smaller, they provide dramatically more hands-on, substantive experience. It's a real game changer.
So the crucial point here is this. Beware the big 6, 7, or 8 myth. You are inevitably going to hear batchmates casually claim they just, emailed HR and easily secured a spot at a top-tier firm. Do not let this make you feel inadequate. The reality, peers often hide the fact that they use heavy family referrals or they had deep pre-existing engagement with the partners. Don't compare your behind-the-scenes hustle to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel, okay?
Okay, Section 5, Ace the interview. Let's assume your hustle paid off and you actually got the call. Awesome! Now it is time to shift our focus entirely to preparing for the conversation that actually seals the deal. The sources are crystal clear on this. Do not wing it. Here is your 3-step interview survival guide. First, before you even walk in, deeply research the firm's recent clients, their high-profile cases, and their specific practice areas. Second, practice your answers out loud. Seriously, talk to a mirror. Be completely ready to defend and discuss the writing samples you submitted. And third, right after the interview, send a crisp, clear, and warm thank you email within 24 hours. Be sure to mention a specific detail from your conversation. And hey, if a decision is pending later on, it's completely fine to politely follow up. Sometimes that extra bit of professional enthusiasm is the ultimate tiebreaker.
Finally, Section 6. Succeed on the job. You ace the interview and you are hired. Fantastic. But getting in the door, that's really only half the battle. Now we need to make sure that from day one, you are leaving a lasting, undeniably positive impression. Let's rattle off a rapid-fire etiquette checklist for day 1. Dress the part, wear crisp black and white formals with neat shoes and minimal accessories. Be incredibly punctual. We're talking 10 to 15 minutes early every single day. Always, always carry a notepad. Think of it as your internship diary for tracking case names and deadlines. And finally, be willing to do the grunt work. Learn to perfectly format and proofread affidavits, notices, and petitions. I promise you, lawyers notice who pays attention to the details. Mastering these seemingly small tasks is exactly how you build a massive trust for the bigger, more exciting assignments later on. Ultimately, you've got to remember this golden rule. Listen more, speak less, and maintain strict legal confidentiality. The legal practice is an industry built entirely on trust. Stay humble, ask very smart questions, but, ask them at the right time, definitely not while a partner is literally sprinting to court. Keep their secrets completely safe. And when the internship is all over, send a final thank you note and stay connected. These mentors can literally shape the entire trajectory of your career.
I want to leave you with a provocative question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. Where are you interning? Or what is holding you back right now? Please, don't stress about one single internship making or breaking your entire life. Just focus on quality learning and steady progression. I'd love for you to share your progress or even the hurdles you're facing down in the comments. We're all figuring this out together. Keep pushing forward, trust the strategy we just built today, and go secure that position. You've absolutely got this.